Hi and welcome to Today I'm sharing 5 different ways of using the Merriest Trees bundle. There might be a couple of bonuses too, so be sure to stick around. So I'm just going to flip the camera. Let's get started. So here we have the Merriest Trees bundle. We've got the stamp set which has a solid tree and another tree which has some more detailing on it and different elements to it. What I particularly like is the dies, how you have 5 different size trees. You can use them on their own or you can die cut them and layer them out together. I've got a card to show you that which I'll get to later. So let's get on with the card.
Yes.
We have a little window card. I've got some tips how to create this card. So you need a card base. I've cut your sheet of card vertically, so that will be at 10.5 centimeters or 4 1/4 inches. You'll score that at 14.8 centimeters or 5 1/2 inches. You'll want a piece of designer series paper, whatever you choose. I'm using the Walk in the Forest paper. That will be 14.8 centimeters by 8 centimeters or 5 1/2 by 3 1/4. You'll want some coordinating card strips. You'll only want very thin strips of that. It's about 1 centimeter wide or 1/2 inch, and that is measures 14.8 centimeters or 5 1/2 inches. And your card mat for inside, that's inside your card, 10.1 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters or 5 3/8 by 4 inches. So I need to show you a few tips in creating it. Get your piece of paper and your card strip, grab your adhesive. We're just going to add a thin sliver of glue just along these strips and add 1 to each side of your paper. So you don't want to put the glue all the way across your card strip because you'll see that on the other side. So just line that up. You'll do the same with the other side. Grab your card base and you're going to stick this straight down on one of the sides. When you add your adhesive here, you only want to add it right around the edges. And stick that on the front. Center it roughly there. Now, grab your die that you'll use. This is the size we want. Position that on your card towards the right side of your card, and you're going to put that between your plates. So, excuse the plates, but I'll just show you how I'm doing that. They've had a lot of love. So position your die, center that on both sides, just towards your towards your end. Make sure your card's open to die cut that out, and put your top plate on. We're going to run that through the die cut machine. Here we've got that cut out, so it becomes a little window. So you can see why we need only a narrow piece, because we don't want some of that coordinating cardstock that you've used, your strip, showing from under your tree. Don't throw this tree out because we're going to use that in a moment. Grab a small piece of cardstock. We're going to stamp the words in Cherry Cobbler. We'll just ink that up. Isn't it lovely writing? Using the same tree die, we're going to cut that out. It fits in just nicely. Run that through a die cut machine. We have die cut that little tree out. Grab your white piece of card for the inside. Just run some adhesive around the edge for that. And stick that inside. You'll find with that tree that you die cut out with the paper, because you only put the glue a little bit around the outside, some of it is not sticking down too well. So we'll just add a touch of glue on there. That side and that side too. Of course we can use both parts. We want your dimensionals. We're going to add some dimensionals to the back of this tree. To put that in your card, you're going to close the card up and you're going to position that through the little window that you had. So just line that up there, pop that in the window. You can grab the card, open it out, and that will be in the right position inside your card. With this tree that we die cut, add some adhesive on the back. I'm just using the Tombow multi-purpose glue. You can use whatever you want here. And I'm just going to tuck that underneath here. And we don't want to waste that tree. It just adds a nice little addition in there. We'll finish the front. We're going to grab some card. We're going to stamp a tree in the old olive ink. Grab that out. Let's grab some scrap paper and put that on there. And we can just press that down there. Good press around. And get our garden green. We've got a couple little patches there. I'm not going to worry about it for today, but if you, there might have been a couple of little marks on here on the stamp, so we'll just leave that for now though. But just check your stamp before you stamp to make sure the stamp's clean properly. I'm using garden green now for the small detail. You can see through the clear block how to line that up. Give that a little press around there too. We can remove that now. We're also going to stamp a tree in the cherry cobbler, which I've already done. So this time we're going to grab the next size up tree die and die cut that out. So we can just run that through the die cut machine. Here we have our tree. And what we also want is some gold little beads on it. So this is a really great die. It has strings of beads, so you can die cut that out. I'm going to use some of this brushed gold foil paper and die cut some out. And we've got our little strings of beads. I'll just show you a little bit of this. I won't show you the whole sticking it down, but just so you get an idea, I'm using the silicone mat. You could use the adhesive paper for when you're die cutting it, so you can easily just pull that off, but I'm just using tiny little drops of the Tombow and running it along there. Hopefully you can see that okay. We can string that from this one side up to the other. And the same with this, we can go from along here. You can just then trim up with the scissors. Just give a little snip. This time you're going to run up along that way. And we can continue with the rest of the beads. I'm not going to finish that now. You'll get the idea of it. But if we bring the card back in, the finished card, we have a little window card. I've had stamped a sentiment inside too, so it's a good idea to do that before you stick the white card down, just in case you mess it up. Then pop your little tree inside. We have the little beads of gold, which adds a little shine to it. So let's have a look at some of the other cards we have. This one is using the tree. I've die cut the same size using the Joy to You Designer Series paper, the lovely music background, and added some little elements. I love this little tree trunk. It's pretty cool. But you have the gorgeous red and gold ribbon. This is a ribbon available as an online exclusives online, which is really great for Christmas. We have 3 trees, and you might be able to see this. It has gold embossed words on the Designer Series paper. This is again the Joy to You Christmas paper, and I've lost a little star up there. And then we have, that adds a little bit of shine to the background. We're going for another 3 trees here. I've used the Walk in the Forest paper, die cut the tree out, and you can see I've got a gold tree underneath it as well. Do you think this looks like one of those fun Christmas cookies? And it creates a great effect. This card is a great way of using up some leftover papers. You've got some strips of Designer Series paper. I've actually added that under the white before I've put it on the card mat. And have a look at this tree. This is one of the trees I've stamped it 3 times, die cut it out, and then layered. So you get the extra depth with that. And use the cottage wreath on the background. This card is actually cased from a card I made several years back. This was at a Stampin' Up event on stage or something a few years ago. I really liked how it uses the strips of paper, and I just made it a Christmas one. So we have 5 cards here, but there's so much more you can do. Let's have a look at some bonuses. We've got this card. I've actually die cut these trees from a Walk in the Forest paper. You've got different sized trees, so it's great. You don't have to, of course you can fussy cut it with scissors, but why? When you can just die cut it with the dies. And you can also punch that little bear out with the polar bear punch. So that's a great way of using it. Only a short time left to get this Walk in the Forest paper. The great thing with this paper is this part of the give back for this catalogue, and $4.25 Australian, I think it's around that, is given to Anglicare for the Toys and Tucker program. If you're in a different market, there are other organisations that the money is donated to. I think that's such a worthy cause for giving back to our community over Christmas. So don't miss out getting that paper. Of course, we have another little treat. This is a little treat I made for our Christmas crafternoon that was just on recently. And I've stamped and cut one of the smaller trees out. The For You is from the Sending Cheers stamp set, and some more of the Walk in the Forest, just with a little chocolate treat. So these were on the table for all the guests from our Christmas crafternoon on the weekend, and I think they liked it. So we've got all the cards. I would love to know what your favourite is. Drop it in the comments. What is your favourite card? I'd love to hear, and I'm going to pick someone at random to receive this card. So You never know wherever it might go to. So I'd love to hear from you. Remember, if you're on YouTube watching this, don't forget to subscribe so you'll catch more videos. And if you're on YouTube, on Facebook rather, don't forget to give it a like, share it with your friends so they can see. But remember to comment so you can be in the draw to win the card. So I hope that you've enjoyed these cards and it inspires you to get out there and use it, or even grab it very soon so you can make some more Christmas creations. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.